Were there any other categories of something that was going on in your mind that shifted pretty quickly within therapy?
Um, I don't know.
Okay.
Do you know?
Well, you're saying that worry, you had some shifts within worry,
Yeah.
you had some shifts within self-criticism and self-compassion. Um, did psychotherapy help at all with your mood or other relationships?
Yeah, totally. Again, like I feel like before going to therapy, not realizing that people don't experience what I experience. I think one thing that we've talked about is like periods where I had a lot of energy and I feel like very self-confident. And then like 2 weeks later, I can feel like the rug has been like taken out for under me and I'm just like questioning everything. I'm like not sure if I'm living in the right place, I'm in the right profession, I'm like dating the right people or that I ever will. And I guess that was something that I didn't really realize was happening. And I also didn't realize that like everyone doesn't go through shifts like that.
And now that you see that you have mood shifts like that, how do you relate to your experience differently?
It's like it's almost the same like pattern with everything. I feel like the first step is like, oh, this is happening and like this doesn't happen to everyone. So like one, it was just like looking out for like when it was about to happen or and almost seeing like what the like quote unquote like triggers were for it to be about to happen. So I do a lot of traveling, which then leads to like not a lot of sleep, which also leads to like going out a lot and like drinking and eating differently. And I think you helped me realize that, like, hey, when you don't get a lot of sleep, you're like traveling a lot and you're like drinking and eating differently. Like, my mood might spike into one way. And then after being in like a heightened state for a while and coming back to like my normal life, I might then see like a down state more readily. So I feel like just prepping for those two things and then realizing once I'm in those two things, like strategies to shift out of them was helpful too.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that. I think what I really appreciate about what you're saying about like this doesn't happen to everyone is you're not saying it in a self-critical way. So some people experience their mental health challenges as like, I'm experiencing something and I'm the only one, and that means there's something inherently wrong with me. And the tone that you're saying that is more like um, what is normal for me might not be normal for others. And that doesn't mean there's something inherently wrong with me, but rather I need to bring more intention to these certain dimensions of my life so that they don't hurt me further or they don't cause me additional suffering. Does that capture your attitude towards it?
Yeah, and I don't think it was always that way. Again, like I feel like before having strategies to navigate it and like knowing what it was, there was like a scary period where it's like, oh my God, am I different? Like, is there something wrong with me that I have these things? But I think like once I figured out like, oh, I can pretty easily figure out like when this is happening and how to like navigate back to like a more status quo, it just didn't seem as scary and just like something that happens sometimes to me.